All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, and I would like to welcome you to a special edition of Live from Sparkwood in 21. This series chronicles the cult classic television series Twin Peaks. 25 years passed between season 2 and the episode that you are about to see, and it's been an even longer wait for me. So, we're not going to waste any more time. All of our technical issues backstage have been corrected, as you can see. And you just saw our new promo by the man who is now the de facto producer of this program. And I'm going to bring him on right now. Ladies and gentlemen, last call, Troy Pacelli.
Netter was right. It's a trap.
Of course, in the background with this is Netter's Network.
Hi.
And of course, Flappy's biggest fan, H. Boomer.
Hello. In memoriam of poor Flappy and Flappy Jr., who ended up as a two-piece meal at a Roy Rogers franchise restaurant.
That's right. What was the first thing I said to you tonight, Agent Boomer?
What?
Flappy's dead!
I don't know that he had any grandkids either. I think maybe. I mean, I don't know. Flappy Jr. did get around. He was kind of a bad guy, bad bird. He would.
Well, technically, wouldn't have been 2 wings, 2 very, very tiny legs, and 2 very, very tiny breasts.
Possibly.
I don't know. Maybe he was obese.
Because that would have made him a 6-piece meal.
Oh, jeez.
I'm opening up my Georgia Gold here too.
There you go. Nice.
Woo-hoo.
I have to say though, this is very exciting. I remember when this aired a few years back, everybody was talking about it, and I will not be spoiling deleted scenes on this, but I will. We get to certain parts in the show, I might relay to them some of the things people online were saying when the show was airing.
Yeah, there's been,
by all
and
means,
that's
please.
just it.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of great commentary, even to this day. People are still talking about it. So,
Like us.
yeah, the fact that you have avoided major spoilers is pretty impressive. Deleted scenes.
Maggie Simpson shot Mr. Burns. There's your spoiler. Oh wait,
Damn it!
That was a different show.
Burns' suit.
The butler did it.
Yes.
Verbal was Kaiser Soze.
That's a good movie, Usual Suspects.
It is.
Yes.
I was thinking about that earlier today. That needs to be a watch party sometime down the line.
Is that another DVD that had disc rot, or am I thinking of something else? I think I'm thinking of something else.
Oh, I hope not. My copy of The Departed seems to have fallen victim to that. So
That is awful. That was a new release.
Yeah.
I don't know, something should be done about this. I'm sorry. That's for shame, Warner Brothers. I told you my Superman the movie special editions that came out when Returns came out, all of them started failing. I'm like, wow, that's weird that all of these must have been a fluke. And then I find out later on, no, it's not a fluke.
So, Troy, did Our Departed work or no?
It must have worked because I was able to rip it for our watch party of it.
Okay. So ours apparently worked.
But we got it very recently, so maybe it wasn't from the same
They
batch.
might have fixed it, yeah.
That's what I think Michael was saying. A lot of those Warner Brothers in subsequent releases were, a different company pressing them.
That's why I have no idea if some of the stuff I have is rotten or some of it still works. Maybe I got later releases, I don't know. But I'll find out one day.
Indeed.
And look, I am always saying, fair use, and you can make copies of the things you bought and whatnot. And I have found many times that when there is an encoding error sometimes in a disc, like for example, I picked up the what was that mini series that they did for RoboCop? It was
Prime Directive.
Prime Directive, right? It was 4 discs, and the first one would not play. However, when I ripped the disc and made a copy of it, the copy played just fine. And I'm telling you, it wasn't just it didn't work. I returned it, got another one, and that one didn't work. There was an error in the released version, in the encoding, and when I made a copy of it, the process of copying it fixed it. So I literally have the 4 original discs and 1 copy of disc 1 to watch.
Huh.
All right. Our chat has been waiting patiently.
Very patiently. You guys deserve the
I've been waiting
canonization.
25 years for this.
You have waited 25 years for this. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I'd like to acknowledge everybody right now. FKHC 2005 was, of course, the first one here, sometimes known as Tim. The tired midnight blogger himself, channel member Curtis Selby.
He's a little more tired now than he was before.
I'm sure he is. Faithful Blue Wrench. The Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her second channel, Fluff Chick Productions. Channel member Connie Clary.
Welcome on.
All right. Scrolling. All right.
You know what else I can do? I can do this.
Yes, you can.
Deleted scenes. Watch out for this guy.
Damn it.
I got the power.
F. Ratstone.
Yeah, we can boot him, I think.
Yeah. All right. Big Al Presents in the house. Creator of the 10-Word Review and host of Films with Friends, on which I am going to be appearing this Friday at 8 p.m. And we are going to be watching Dragonheart, starring Sean Connery and Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid, I remember that.
And Dina Meyer.
Oh, Dina Meyer, yeah.
Did I
Batgirl
mention Dina Meyer? Allow me to mention Dina Meyer one more time.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Starship Troopers.
I may watch that after this. No.
Yes, that was you get to see a lot more of her in that movie.
Yes. She was also on commercials for feminine hygiene products in the 90s. I remember that.
Was she really?
Yes.
I would not have ever noticed that.
On Comedy Central, they would often air during MST.
Mom, do you get that not so fresh feeling from time to time? Never known a girl who ever had a conversation like that with her mother.
They made fun of that on Family Guy. I thought that was funny.
I should expect they would.
Yes.
Logical Spock saying, welcome to the show. Of course, channel member. Saying, Cosme needs a smart TV app.
Yeah, I need a smart TV, I think.
All right. Channel member JPRPH1. All right. Scrolling.
Man, my
And
ass is
I do
swollen,
believe,
rawhide.
of course, Emoji Queen, Lady Miss. All right. And Nate is here. Geek Flag with Nate Knows.
He has been
1973.
eagerly awaiting this.
Yes. 1973. Good year. All right. Well, half of it, I missed the first half. Couldn't be, well, I was here, but I wasn't. I was on location. I feel we've been waiting 25 years, 40, 16 hours and 32 minutes. Yes, we have. Or at least I have, for sure. All right. And I do believe I got to everybody. I do also want to say hello to everybody who is watching on Twitter and Rumble. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Hope that you enjoy the show. All righty. Well, you're all one up on me. You have all seen this previously.
Yes, but I
And
slept since then.
Yeah. Literally, Netter has seen it once all the way through.
so,
How about you, Boomer? Have you seen it more than once?
No, just once.
Okay.
I'd originally intended to do the whole thing from start to finish, which I guess is what I'm doing with you guys. So there we go.
Yeah, and I've seen it a couple times. Some scenes I've rewound and watched again, paused,
Because they
zoomed
don't
in,
make sense.
played in slow motion. You know, I mean, I've really kind of poured over it a little bit, but not as much as the original.
Enigma Severus has joined us. He was a guest on the most recent episode of The Other Side of Midnight. Please
Yep.
give that broadcast
It's great hanging out with
a
you.
look. Not right now, after this show. Then you can go and watch The Other Side of Midnight. All right. So, yes, this is part one, entitled My Log Has Something to Tell You. Now, from what I understand from Troy, and what I am seeing here on the disc in front of me, that parts 1 and 2 originally aired live. I mean, originally, not live, but obviously live, but on the same night,
Mm-hmm.
shown as one feature-length film.
Mm-hmm.
However, tonight we are just going to do the first part, and then do part 2 next week, of course. Yeah, so
And since I know basically where it's supposed to, cap off, this is not how it was shown. It wasn't like it ended at this point and there were closing credits or anything like that, and then it started up again. It flows right from one into the other. But I'm going to stop it, and it's probably going to upset Nate. But that's what we're going to do.
All right.
And that'll give you a chance to kind of think about, the episode, and we'll pick it up again next week.
now, those of you who are going to be following along with your own physical copy, as I am doing tonight, if you go to disc 1, where it says parts, you will see that you can watch parts 1 and 2 as the feature-length film. You can also see part 1 and part 2 separately. We are going to be watching part 1 separately, so scroll down one, and that's what we're going to be following off of this evening. That's for those of you who are following, who are syncing up with your physical copies. Of course, you can follow along with us on Cosme, and the Cosme link should be pinned to the top of all of our chats. That's the one thing I got right tonight, was pinning the Cosme link. So, yeah. All right. So, Troy, the ball is in your court. You're the
Okay.
You are technically, for sure, the host for season 3.
Oh,
since
absolutely.
I am basically the coming into this almost completely blind.
And I see no reason to give you any preamble. I say we just jump right into this. I will just kind of reiterate that at about the midsection, I'm going to just cut it off and stop it, and it'll seem like what the hell, but you know, oh well. I may go a few minutes longer just so it doesn't seem so abrupt, but I don't think there's much I can do about it. So, okay, so for those of you that are in the future with your own copies of Twin Peaks: The Return, or I guess your own streams, if those.
Well, it's funny. I'm on Vudu with my Vudu copy, and it also has part 1 and part 2 separated.
Oh, okay. Well, mine,
Interesting.
it was just the way I ripped it, so
Gotcha.
it comes out, you know, the whole thing,
All right.
which is convenient because that's also how I was able to find the subtitles.
Okay.
So it works out. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get us started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. And once again, do I have the volume on? Did I share my sound?
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah,
Neither am
hold
I.
on a second. Let me back up. I don't think I shared my sound. Let's
Okay.
stop.
It's a lovely fire.
Cosme, share. Click here. Entire screen. Share audio. Start. And now it's not working. Why is it not working? 480, 720. I don't want to enable relay. Entire screen. There. Share. And my Cosme's not working. Hold on a second, guys.
And hello to Maria Tiantelli. Thank you very much for joining us.
Maria.
We're just about to get started with the presentation here. Part 1. My log has something to tell you. Twin
I
Peaks Season
hope
3.
it does. I hope it does. 480, 720. Entire screen. Share. Okay, that should be working.
Is that Aeon Flux,
Yes.
Boomer? Cool.
Yes. I don't know why I posted. I'm just I'm trying to entertain the people.
Okay.
And you're still not hearing sound, are you?
No.
Nope.
And I don't know why. Is it my computer? Got the volume up all the way.
Do you need to do something else on your computer to share it?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Something is not working, and I don't know why. Hold on a second. Let me try it on this computer.
Tim says, my log has something to tell you. The story of a gastroenterologist. Oh, we're getting there.
Yeah, the file itself is just fine.
He'll be right back.
Okay.
Good evening. But I digress. No. Kidding.
It's just us.
At
Yes.
the moment.
Okay, just a moment. A little technical difficulty.
All right.
All right.
We're working on it. It's been that kind of night, folks. Do not fret. We've been looking forward to this for quite a while. What's a few more minutes?
What I think is interesting is if you look at the screenshot now of our avatars, underneath Delete it says part 1, and then under me it says message for you.
Oh, nice.
Do.
Hey,
Do you own
check
any,
it out,
do you,
something.
do you own any of the Twin Peaks music deleted scenes?
I do. Actually, I have the original series soundtrack. I have pretty sure I have Firewalk with me. It says so a priest and a rabbi walk into a bar. Yeah, well, we're getting there. Okay.
All right. Sorry, guys. I'm rebooting the computer that I share Cosme from, but if it still doesn't work, I am not going to be able to share it tonight, and I'm sorry about that. But I don't know what else to do because it'll take me way too
will come up with
long
something.
to re-encode this.
Now, I want to know from the chat, has it been 25 years for you? I mean, or is this like you just came across Twin Peaks because we started watching it, last couple of weeks?
Mm-hmm.
And so for you, this has just been like a couple months. It hasn't been 25 years. So basically, is this new to you?
Yeah.
I know Deleted hasn't seen this.
Yeah.
But what about our chat?
And yes, Enigma does have a video up. He did a review of the Mel Gibson film Boneyard. So check out Enigma's video. Not right now. After the show.
Enigma.
Yes, Enigma Severus. All right.
The
Well, for
Riddler's.
this, it's definitely a weirdness. So you have to be weird to watch Twin Peaks.
Okay, there is a problem with the encoding on my version here, and it would take me more than a half hour to re-encode this. I am not going to be able to do this for.
Do you want to show the silent version on Cosme? I mean, I know it's no sound, but you could have it with. Does that have subtitles at least? I don't know.
I think that would be a really, really crappy viewing experience.
Probably,
I don't think
yes.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, part of the experience is the sound.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Half the movie, I know.
Okay. Well, I will tell. I'll tell you what, and I'm very sorry about this. That we've had this delayed chat. Unexpected. It's been that kind of night. However, as Enigma says, we are here to hang out, and that it really is one of the reasons we chose to do the show. So, Troy, I'll put this to you, and then I'll put this to the panel on the chat. If you want to go ahead and try and take the time to encode it now, whatever needs to be done,
I'll try.
go ahead and do it, and then we'll just fill for the next half hour. We've got some people in the chat who I know have a number of things that they like to bring up. We've got Boomer and Netter here. We've got the number one guy who knows how to keep a show going, and that's myself. Very clearly, obviously, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, sure, I know that, and thank you. All right. Now for my favorite part of the show. What does it say? Talk to the audience. Oh God, this is always tough. All right,
So,
but I will. Yes, Boomer, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Okay.
We could talk about Land of the Lost. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. No, I did that on Sunday. I'm just. Outer Range is back. Not that there's anything to do with Twin Peaks, but
Well, it kind of does in a way,
Yeah,
because it's kind of like if David Lynch and Taylor Sheridan got together and did a television show.
did a TV series. So
Yeah,
I know season 2 started at some point. I know there's a plan to
it
talk
has.
about that. Yeah.
Um,
So now we talked about season 1 on Troy's late last night.
we did.
But yeah, that's pretty. It's a pretty weird show. Are there any weird Twin Peaks contemporaries other than what do you call Outer Range that you can think of?
Well,
Who's carrying the torch now?
I don't know about now.
What about after the fact?
But I remember at the time there was a show called Wild Palms that was created by a guy named Bruce Wagner, and it had Jim Belushi, Robert Loggia, I think Angie Dickinson, Dana Delaney was in it, Nick Mancuso, Ernie Hudson. Very odd show. And
I like that cast, though.
It got one season,
Mm-hmm.
but they knew they were just going to get that one season. But the problem was they kind of had to rush.
I hate it when that happens,
they rushed the ending.
So
that the final episode throws a lot at you, and spoiler alert for like a 30-plus-year-old show, almost, is you find out that a lot of the characters are not who they appear to be. One character's, one character thinks that his son, one character's son turns out to actually be his brother and not actually his son. And do the math. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And
am I getting Chinatown flashbacks here? What's going on there?
Yeah, something like that. And we'll get to Chinatown here in a second because I got a tidbit about that. One character is supposed to be this notorious womanizer. In the end, we find out he was gay the whole time. It's just it gets really weird. And I threw a lot at you at once, but that was a show that was, it was its own thing, but it was very much that. It's almost like it did. It's like it did the first. It did the first 2 seasons of Twin Peaks in that one season, because it starts out very methodical. It's laying everything out. You're getting introduced to all of the characters. And then halfway through the season, it's just like everything just like is quirky for the sake of being quirky.
Well, that can happen.
And then you had that rushed ending because they had to. It's like, okay, we're going to cancel your show, but we're going to let you end it. So now they got to scramble and all of this. What were probably 2 or 3 seasons of planning all of this out, you now have the one season. So, it came off very rushed.
It's a problem when they rush endings. I almost wish they wouldn't do that and would just leave you guessing. I get where they were coming from. They were only given so many episodes. Yeah, but I don't know. I do like that cast. I do like Dana Delaney a lot, and Ernie Hudson.
Yeah,
Was seeing him on
great
something
cast.
else, but
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know though. I'm trying to think what were the other Twin Peaks style shows, because apparently, see, X Files is kind of its own animal, so I don't like even saying, because there were X Files knockoff series. Remember Nowhere Man?
It was Nowhere Man. The show, the other show that I'm thinking of was called Angel Falls. That actually has
rings a
Peggy
bell.
Lipton in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. and as Peggy Lipton, James Brolin, the kid that was in The Kindred, who was the leader of the bikers, he was in that as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that was kind of, I don't know if it was so much.
Is it Twin
a
Peaks without
series.
the paranormal stuff? Is that what it is? They lean more into the noir
They
angle.
they leaned more into the soap opera,
Right.
interpersonal relationship, everybody going behind each other's backs, kind of, element to it. So that's when it comes to mind. But yeah, you did have the paranormal shows that started right about then. You had like the X-Files and everything that stemmed from that millennium. You brought up Nowhere Man. First Wave is another one that comes to mind.
First Wave.
That was on Sci-Fi.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember Nowhere Man. That starred Bruce Greenwood, right? Yeah, he was in the lead, and it starts out where he leaves the restaurant. He goes to the bathroom. The restaurant, comes back, and his wife isn't there, or his wife doesn't know who he is, and he has no identification. It's like he doesn't exist anymore, right? That was the whole thing, if memory serves. And you find out that either he's nuts or there's a horribly intricate conspiracy messing with him, right? And I think as the show goes on, we figure out it's a horrible conspiracy. No paranormal stuff in it, though, like on the X-Files, but it did lean into that conspiracy stuff pretty heavily. I remember enjoying Nowhere Man. Actually, I would watch it, but it's one of these shows how you kind of knew it wasn't going to take off. I remember a lot of the Sean Cassidy series. He had 3 of them, and they all failed, which was sad. Like American Gothic was his first one. Remember that one?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
It was like the Andy Griffith show if Andy Griffith was the devil, basically. And I'm not being figurative about that either.
And
Gary Cole played him. Yes.
Gary Cole, and then you had a lot of people who kind of were not known at the time who went on to other things, like Lucas Black.
Black, because he was in Sling Blade not long after that, and he's like the perfect young actor to play a Southern kid, and he nailed that Southern charm of the 90s. That's why I love that. I love the fact that he was in Sling Blade also. So it's like they still captured that on film too, as well as on that show. But yeah, Lucas Black was played by Gary Cole. A lot of Sam Raimi alumni in it too. I think Bruce Campbell starred on an episode. I remember that. And I forget the actress that played his sister. She's been in more stuff lately. Like, she kind of fell off for a while, and then suddenly she's showing up on all kinds of series. I don't recall her name, but she's like on a lot of the American Horror Story series she shows up on now. But
Sarah Paulson.
Sarah Paulson, yeah, she was on American Gothic as his older sister, but she was kind of, I don't want to say like an invalid, like she couldn't talk properly or whatever, because I think she had witnessed something horrible, but her soul was normal. So when she comes back as a spirit, she's perfectly sane and logical. She could talk to him. But so I don't know. I guess she was supposed to be like the more angelic character on that show, and Lucas Buck was the devil. But that's another one that lasted one season. So you have to understand. I have to explain something to the chat here. Back in the late 80s, 90s, having shows with like anything that was paranormal or a little weird or interesting, it would usually not last more than a season if you were lucky. Stuff that took that stuff seriously. Like, I remember I used to love a show called She-Wolf of London. That went off. And first it became Love and Curses, and then it just went off the air. But it was almost like an American Werewolf in London, except it was a woman in the lead role. And she would help this guy investigate other paranormal stuff, but they'd have to lock her up when the moon was full because she turned into a werewolf because she got attacked by a werewolf. I remember liking that show a lot.
Nate brings up Dark Skies. Yeah, that was another one.
That was another one. I didn't watch that one. I think I was being too much of a snob. I was very much an X-Files loyalist, and I was like, they're just aping on the X-Files. For all I know, I'd watch it now, and it does a perfectly good job, and I was probably just being harsh on it at the time.
I recall the title, but Nate, remind me who starred in it because I'm kind of blanking on the details of it.
I think it was a period piece. It took place in the 60s, and it was
I think
about
so.
UFO
Yeah.
cover-ups. So that was interesting. I remember you had Profiler came on, I think, the same time as Millennium.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they were
Because-
I don't think they were ripping each other off. I think they were just two similar kinds of shows that came on at the same time.
NBC back in the day, they used to have this thing called they used to do like this they did the Saturday Night Trilogy. That's what they called it, the Trilogy. And it was Profiler, The Pretender.
I remember The Pretender.
Excellent show, The Pretender, good one. And
Yes.
And then they had like this rotating series of shows because the third show would always like last a season and then be gone.
Yeah, I think The Pretender lasted 2, if I recall.
I think
Yeah, I
no,
remember that
it
show.
went
That was
longer
a
than
good
that.
show.
It was like 4 or 5.
Might have been 4 or 5 seasons. I like the
Yeah.
lead actor on that. I don't know what happened to him, but his whole thing was he
Yeah,
was a
because he's
genius,
weird.
and he could be anybody he wanted to be.
Uh-huh.
But he
Yeah.
didn't know who he was. But he could be, like, if he wanted to pretend to be a medical doctor or a surgeon, he could actually do the surgery. That's how intelligent he was. But you remember The Pretender, right, Netter? I liked how
Yeah.
each episode ended, because he was usually, well, he was on his own because he was on the run from the government guys, but he was usually helping people. And, like, he would usually get the bad guy. And, like, let's say the bad guy buried someone alive and killed the person. Like, he would end up burying the bad guy alive. Didn't you do this? And the guy would finally confess. And that turns out, no, he never had any intention of killing the bad guy. He just made it seem like he was. So you get the confession out of him. For that,
Yeah, it's like I remember it being a really good show.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I remember enjoying The Pretender, and
Yeah.
then there was Profiler. I remember that series, which oddly enough, I hate to say this, I became a huge fan of Millennium in season 2, but that first season of Millennium, wow. That was a dark series, and I thought Profiler,
Yeah.
it did the serial killer thing, but it was a little lighter. Like there were times I wanted to strangle
Yeah.
Frank Black because he had no emotions on his face, you know?
But what got me about Profiler
Yes.
is when they got up to the reveal of the killer was not only finding out do you think that it's something that would be okay to kind of give it away?
Go ahead. I know who it was, so yeah, that's
All
fine.
right. Now, somewhere around, I think, season 3, maybe 4, was when they finally revealed the identity of this jack of all trades, the killer that she's been after the whole series, who killed her husband and
Yes.
many other people along the way.
Right.
And he turned out to be this character who was played by Dennis Christopher, who was like this small town sheriff. And you know how the Mentalist had read John. This was kind of the
Yes.
same kind of
Kind of
thing,
the same thing. Yeah.
but before Mentalist.
Right.
But
before
the
that,
thing
yeah.
that was interesting was he didn't just play that character in the episodes that you saw him in. It was him the entire time. In all of those little scenes that you got with Jack through the first 3 or 4 seasons,
Yeah,
that was Dennis Christopher the entire time. Because there was this thing, because that was like a really big secret, because he
So
wasn't
they
going
planned
out
it
for anything. Because and they planned it out because he was like getting offered movies and stuff. And like he was turning them down. And everybody's like, what's going on with him? He can't just not go out for stuff. What's the deal? He was already on the show. He just couldn't say because it was supposed to be this big reveal. And I thought, wow, that was a pretty. I don't know if they really had to go that far, you know.
But they did a good job, you're saying.
But they did. Yeah, they
Well,
really did.
It's
Yeah.
good when they plan things out. And that's what it is. You said trilogy.
Uh-huh.
That's how I would describe the X-Files as, and I mean, people say, oh, it's science fiction, it's horrible. It's a thriller, and it has all those other trappings in it. That's how I sort of saw it. And maybe that's the problem with a lot of modern TV. We don't have thriller shows, do we? I mean, I guess Evil might be a thriller. That new show, I've not gotten caught up on it yet.
I
But
watched the first season of that on CBS before I kind of it went to Paramount Plus, and I stopped watching TV basically.
Yeah, I think I wish it had stayed a network show because and now you have it's always weird when you have cussing on these shows that used to be on regular TV and then they can now add cussing because it's now a streaming exclusive.
Yeah.
And it's just weird. It's like with the new
although on something like SEAL Team, I think it's more apropos,
right?
Because you could believe those guys will throw out a few F-bombs while under fire, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, it does get a little weird when you get these when you have the network shows switch over to streaming like that, and it's just like it all melds together now. And I kind of miss the old days. I miss that old
coming home. Yeah,
coming home. These 22 episode seasons, you know, and sure, some episodes were filler. You know, but you know, to go out and do 8 episodes of a series and call that a season, I go, no, it's not.
The British do that all the time with their series. I think they call them over there. They call them series and not seasons. But what I thought was interesting was Luther. You may know the Idris Elba series where he plays the police detective, right? It's rather grim. But I remember they had one season, one series, which was a like 2.5-hour TV movie, and they called that a series. I'm like, no, that's not a series. That was a movie that you did with Luther, and that's fine, but don't call that a series. It didn't have any more episodes. It was one long episode. You lied. Okay? And I'm not trying to attack the quality of it. I'm just saying that was not a series. Yeah. Don't call it that.
Okay.
Someone in the chat. Go ahead.
Dark Skies was Eric Close and Megan Ward. How do I forget Megan Ward? Oh, I don't get points for that, guys. Okay.
It's probably a much better show than I gave it credit for when it was on, and I should probably give it a rewatch. I do remember someone in the chat mentioned Numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Numbers?
I never watched that show. I used to watch Cold Case, though.
Okay, well, Numbers was another one of these CSI-type series, but it was about a genius mathematician who I think brother was in the local FBI, and he would help his brother solve, or was it the local police? I'm not sure. And he would help his brother solve crimes with math, with computations. And I know that sounds ridiculous on the surface, but I stuck with the show from start to finish, and I enjoyed it. It had Peter McNichol on it, who I think is a brilliant comic actor.
Mm-hmm.
Who he was also on Ally McBeal. He was he was in Dragon Slayer, oddly enough. I think you watched that the other week. He was the young guy in that. But he was also on he was in Ghostbusters 2, remember, as the assistant to what was his Vigo?
Janosch.
Everything that's right. Janosch
is very bad. I just want you to know that. You know?
But he was he played an eccentric math professor on Numbers. He was very good. Judd Hirsch was on Numbers as the father of the young math professor.
Was.
I forget the actor who played him on Numbers, but he's been in a number of things. Most recent thing I saw him in was Oppenheimer, but he played the head elf in the first 2 Santa Claus movies. I can't think of his name offhand, but yeah, he was on Numbers. Yeah, and he looked like a young math genius. Like he was probably a prodigy as a kid. He was a professor like in his late 20s, and he had a TA that worked under him, and oh my goodness, as the show went on, they started dating, and the show ends with them getting married. You couldn't have that on TV now. They would say, no, that's wrong. Power imbalance. No, it was a nice little love story they had on the show, and she was also very good at math, and I thought it was cool they got married. But
and I do want to say hello to Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies. He joined us.
Yeah.
All right, for those of you who are joining us late, we had a little bit of a technical difficulty with the audio on part 1 of season 3 of Twin Peaks. Troy is working on it, so we're kind of stretching things out a bit. We're talking about past shows that were either like Twin Peaks or like
or just weird.
or shows that were just weird or kind of genre television in general that we remember from from back in the David Krumholtz. Yeah, he's also in almost unrecognizable in Oppenheimer. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gotten older now. He's now middle
Hey,
aged. It's weird. Time flies, but that's what it
yeah.
is. Yeah, he's now looks older.
And
It's
of course,
just,
he's in Serenity, which was the Firefly movie.
he was in Serenity. He didn't he have a robot
Yeah.
girlfriend in the one scene. I think
He
memory
did.
serves.
A robot
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Yes, it's a thing. That's a series I've been meaning to check out because it interests me. I keep seeing pictures of it, and it's called Humans. And it seems like one of these Sci-Fi
Oh
Channel
yeah, it was
originals.
sci-fi. Yeah.
And Sci-Fi Channel, I don't pick on them because they put on some good stuff, like their series Continuum, which starred one of my favorite actresses that never got a break in Hollywood, but she keeps showing up in things. As Rachel Nichols, who I think is an absolutely stunning woman, and she was the lead actor on Continuum for those 4 seasons. And that was an interesting little series. I keep thinking a lot of these sci-fi series. I always kind of refer to them as Canadian series because
They were.
yeah, well, they were, because I'm looking at them and I'm like, yeah, it's like America, but not. And I'm watching these series like they have a police department, but why does this all feel off? And then you figure, oh, it's Canada.
Yeah.
And there's nothing against Canada.
Why?
I
Why is it overcast? And
Yeah, why is it
why do
always
they never
overcast?
pronounce the letter U? You know.
Oh my word. The funniest interview I ever seen with John Carpenter, when he's talking about making a Masters of Horror episode, and all the Masters of Horror episodes were shot in Canada, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, "You can shoot in Vancouver. It looks like anywhere." And then John Carpenter says, "No, shooting Vancouver looks like Vancouver." That's what he said.
Yeah, Carpenter. I believe it.
And he's right and he's wrong. Like, I remember the X-Files was shot in Vancouver before they moved to LA, which was a horrible mistake. But that's when I feel the show started to go downhill when they went to LA. But anyway, they would shoot in Vancouver, and Vancouver can double up for depressing Middle America any day of the week. I think, because that's how I always saw it. Or depressing Washington D.C., because they would also have scenes in Washington, and like I could buy it as taking place in Washington. Or some sad Midwestern town where some kid can control lightning and is killing people, that sort of thing. But I don't know. But nowadays TV, I'm just trying to think. It's a lot of these streaming series that they always make a big deal, and I'm not saying they're bad. Like I really like Tulsa King, but it's like what, maybe 10 episodes best, and then you're done, and then a year goes by and season 2's not on. It's like Tokyo Vice. I was all hyped on Tokyo Vice, and they finally released season 2 this year. I think it got canceled. At least they wrapped up the story arc they were working on. They could still continue it with the same characters and have them go on to do something else, but the big arc they were working on for the past 2 seasons was finished. And that's probably what they were trying to do. But I did hear some sound, I believe.
Yes.
Troy was experimenting. So, what?
I think we're good to go.
Okay. Well, I want to talk about Weird TV for another hour, but okay.
Do what you want. I've
right.
done what I set out to do.
I can ramble about TV. I've watched too much of it in one lifetime.
Me too. All right. Well, okay, folks, and thank you, chat, once again for hanging with us. Nobody left. Thank you. We started late. We had the technical issue. I think we're good now. And thank you in the chat for helping us with the conversation there. And hello to Stardate Trivia. Captain Song birthday 2024 2.07. Experiencing computer trouble on the USS 21. Captain Deleted Scenes is maintaining the crew morale, or the cruel morale, whichever. Science officer Troy's fixing it. Right. Okay. All right, folks. So here we go. This is part 1. My log has something to tell you, and let me get myself synced. Oh, hold on. Okay.
I'm excited.
All right. So, are we ready for the countdown?
I am.
All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2. No, I think we should wait another 25 years. 1.
No. Let's do it.
I should have seen
Oh.
that coming.
For the let's do it before we get the Paramount Plus Twin Peaks reboot. I'm kidding. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Hit it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. There we go. If the subtitles don't work, I'm shutting them off because screw it.
Showtime.
Well, it recognizes the electricity crackling. Okay, I think the subtitles are okay. Curtis Selby, it's the final countdown. Yes, yes, it is. It is freaky.
This is where we left off in the finale.
Exactly. I do think it's kind of brilliant that it was almost exactly 25 years later before they did season 3.
David Lynch planned it that way.
He didn't, but he made it work as if he did.
Who knows what they would have done if they had gotten to season 3? Maybe he got maybe would do they do a
Actually,
time
I know what he was going to do, and we can talk about that later.
Okay. Beautiful shot.
That's what's left of the Packard Mill. I showed you that picture. Without the mist, anyway.
Here's the school.
Yep.
Of course.
Of course, this is the scene from the pilot episode where she finds out that Laura's dead. Mm-hmm.
Angelo Badalamante.
Yep. It is kind of cool. You don't normally see the falls this way. Now that they could do drone shots.
That's true. Just want to dive into that, don't you?
I actually know how deep it is, and yeah, no, I probably would not.
I can't swim and I don't want to break my neck, so no.
Yeah.
But it looks refreshing.
I did warn you guys in advance that you don't get all of your questions answered. You end up with more questions than you went into it with. But you do get introduced to some characters that were mentioned and never seen before.
Giant.
He gets a name in this one.
He's in Doctor Sleep as well.
Is he?
The Secret of the Shining, yeah.
Oh. I see what you were saying about the importance of sound.
Yep.
Yeah. Is that good or bad? Well, no, that would be cheating. Nate, write that down.
To quote River Song, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Richard
Yes.
and Linda. Okay.
Do you?
He might. He's been in there long enough, right?
Yeah.
True.
That's what I was always curious about. What does Cooper know in this moment that we don't know? Like, that's what I was thinking.
Oh,
It's all
okay.
an
He's
illusion.
gone. He featured.
Remember that Garland Briggs went away for a while, came back with some knowledge of the lodges, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't gone for, at least he didn't seem to have been gone for all that long. You also have, drawing a blank on his name, the guy from Teresa's camper park, a trailer park, who
Shaw
said,
Farm.
I've gone places.
Oh,
and,
the Harry Dean Stan's character, yeah.
Harry Dean Stanton, right. I've gone places. I just want to stay around. Don't know for sure, but I'm thinking he may have visited the lodges too.
See, my big question is, did Shelley ever finish building her darn house?
That's a good question. I'm trying to remember now if they even explained that on this show. Because I don't remember everything. Oh, I know what's in there. I'm not going to say.
It's a Nintendo.
No. Actually, that's what I'll say for Nintendo. All their modern stuff is very small because they sell mainly to a Japanese market. So
Yes, Mr. Londell, it's Mr. Home, exactly.
Is that
Or-
Jacoby? It's Jacoby,
Yes,
right?
it is.
yep.
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. I guess we'll find out why he's in a trailer into what's. I don't have to know right now, but okay.
I'm trying to wonder now. Is it like a Walden sort of thing?
Can you dig it? I gotta be honest with you, as you see these characters and where they're at, I wonder how much of it was what Frost and Lynch decided for these characters, and how much of it was, screw it, we'll just wear whatever you're wearing and we'll, figure it out as we go.
They're the shovels.
Can you
Okay.
dig it?
Now we're in the
Oh,
city,
okay.
New York. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
See, this is what I mean. The scope of it, the between what's implied by the original series and what you get to see a little bit more of with Teresa Banks in Fire Walk with Me is it's not just Twin Peaks; it's farther out, right? But now we're going much farther out. So I think I don't think this is a spoiler for you, deleted scenes, that eventually you get to see Diane, right?
Right.
Yeah, we're keeping our mouths shut on that though. But yeah.
He already knows.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Another character.
But is she holding in her hand a box of chocolate bunnies?
No.
Oh.
We will also, I believe, in this episode, we will get to see another character who was mentioned in Fire Walk with Me.
Interesting.
I knew Curtis Selby would pick up on that. Can you dig it?
We did.
Yes.
R.I.P. Cyrus.
David Lynch is so good with mood.
Yes. And you know what? I'm going to say it. This is not everyone's going to agree with me, but I think he's also excellent with pacing. He does not rush.
No.
He gives you the time to absorb, pay attention to details. A little bit like Kubrick in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think he's not quite as anal retentive as Kubrick was. You know, he's open to, oh, this isn't going exactly the way I planned. This is fine. I'll work with this.
Yes.
I saw that movie Fly Me to the Moon last night, and part of the plot of it is the government trying to fake the moon landing as the moon landing is actually happening. Long, complicated story, but the guy that they get to direct the quote unquote fake footage, he references Kubrick because he says we should have gotten Kubrick, and he says Kubrick, he's only made one good movie, and I was thinking, try 10.
Yeah, well, it makes you wonder which one he's referring to.
Yeah.
So, just so you see what he's doing, he's saving memory chips from these cameras, and he swaps them out, puts in a new one.
Okay, so something or someone is going to show up in that box. Maybe multiple someones over multiple time. I take it.
If I confirm or deny, does that constitute a spoiler? Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
This isn't Waiting for Godot. Something does eventually happen here.
Yes, but when does he watch the footage from the cameras? To see if there's anything on it.
I don't think he does. I think that's intended for archive and for someone else to look at.
But who? We may never know.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Oh, wonderful. Now I got to sit there and...
I like the guard here.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
You may remember her from,
California.
more recently, Californication.
Oh, yeah.
She was also the lesbian love interest for Hayden Panettiere's character on Heroes in season 3, which at the time I remember not being so offended by. I'm sorry.
I don't remember that element of it.
They played around with it. They never went too far with it, though. What's her name?
She was
though?
also the little girl character in The Nanny.
Right.
Is that Michael Bisping?
I don't know. I don't know these
yeah.
kids, to be honest with you.
No, I'm talking about the guard, the CDMMA fighter.
Maybe.
Kind of looks like him.
I'm sorry, we're talking over the dialogue here. I can come.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. I mean, for your sake, deleted scenes. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But he's like, she wanted to come in. He's like, I can't really.
Yeah, probably not a good idea.
I'm sorry that.
Yes, Michael Bisping. Yes,
Oh,
that's what that guard is.
That's what I thought. Yeah. All right. Interesting bit of casting. And also, possibly, somebody might have to get fucked up later. So here we go.
Try me. She's gorgeous. I have to say that out loud. I'm sorry. I can't stop myself.
Yeah, she.
Well, you get to see a lot more of her in a little bit.
She's very statuesque. I wonder
Really?
how tall she
Okay.
is.
Well, that's.
I don't know. I liked her on Californication, even though she was a bit of a nutter on that show. But yeah.
That girl there?
Yeah.
Yes, she was on Californication.
I wouldn't call her statuesque, though. She's too skinny to be statuesque.
I don't know.
She needs to have a little bit more curves, like Linda Carter. Linda Carter, I would say, is statuesque.
Well, maybe. I don't know. She's wearing the big coat.
Give her the benefit of the doubt. She'll be showing more curves in a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
Is that considered to be a spoiler?
Yeah. This
Kinda.
was
Maybe.
for those of you who are watching this the first time as I am. This was on Showtime. We are now getting into the R-rated Twin Peaks.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes
just like Firewalk with me. you
yeah,
know?
we got into it there technically. And if they could have, they would have gotten away with more on the TV series as well.
Oh, for
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always said Twin Peaks was a show that needed a network like FX or something to really. Oh. Ashley Judd?
Yep.
Huh.
And I could have seen her as an actress on the old Twin Peaks, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, crazy little David Patrick Kelly. Damn, it's good to see you, man.
He looks like
He's
the
cool.
Jerry from Ben and Jerry's.
He's a right jolly old elf.
He has a sandwich.
Of course, he's always eating.
Find out what it means to me.
Is that the same lodge?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. No, very true.
Unless I'm mistaken, that's the same office, just rearranged a bit.
Wait, the window's always there?
From that angle, yes. If you go back and watch the original show, you'll notice that they often didn't have the windows open.
He's wearing his mother's.
Oh boy.
You notice the
hi,
close
Lucy.
up on the
Oh.
sign because the whole front looks completely different.
Lucy Brennan. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
neither
of
one
course.
is it.
There's two Sheriff Trumans?
Yes.
Lucy got a Lucy.
Which one?
She's not wrong, though.
Right.
And her whole desk area is different because it's not enclosed anymore.
Right.
file that with you, Curtis.
Curtis, I gotta say, I don't know where you get those memes from. I'm just saying.
Hey, do we ever find out, did Lucy have a girl or a boy?
I think we do find out. If memory serves, I think we find out. Yeah.
Because she's not still preggers.
No.
I sure hope not. Giving birth to a 25-year-old.
Now I'm getting Lost Highway flashbacks.
And well, you should, yes.
I wonder if I have this song. I did get the soundtrack.
Is this the speed it's normally played at?
It might be.
Because that's kind of trippy.
Yes, not only do we get to find out if she had a boy or a girl, he's a character.
Doppelganger.
Ooh.
Mandoon.
Is that moonshine?
I think it's implied because he's drinking from a mason jar.
I don't know, it could just be a very weak tea.
I like the captions chickens clucking.
Curtis, it kind of creeps me out when you do that. It's like an Inception kind of thing.
Son, just stay down. You're embarrassing yourself.
Right, exactly.
Well, we know who or what this is, right?
Look,
or do
folks, you're taking a swing at the Kwisatz Haderach.
Right.
What do you want from me? I can't explain it any better.
The Kwisatz Haderach who's turned to the dark side.
Yeah.
Some charming people here. Huh?
Okay. I'm not myself lately.
Right.
Ooh.
She ain't worth nothing.
Okay.
What's in that jar?
Pickled something?
I don't think I want to know. Didn't we see her in the movie last night?
Is she keeping those shorts? Look, nice getaway sticks. I'm just saying. Otis, ladies and gentlemen, Otis. Thank you Good night. Meanwhile, back in New York.
Well, it kind of is meanwhile back in New York. So he takes the memory. So they're recording the thing, and he takes
Yeah.
the memory card out and puts it in storage, puts another one in.
Right, because, you know, it eventually fills up.
Yes. I'll say this: it's interesting. He's utilizing modern technology here in a weird way, right? It's
Mr. Londell says, I've never seen this, and I have to say it's stranger than the original. Loving every minute of it.
Yeah.
Is that bad? Maybe he's taking a pee-pee break.
I say we don't take any chances. We are not dealing with powers of this earth.
You know, you're going to spoil it for yourself, dude.
Is that the toilet?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of gross.
Where is this in New York City? Is this underground?
No, it's
High up?
in a high rise.
Okay. Oh. Oh boy.
You can smuggle her out in your other pants.
Right?
Or you could just meet outside of work. I'm just saying. Just...
His name wouldn't have by any chance been Finch, would it? Wrong show. All right. Cardinal.
You know what kind of coffee that is?
I think she said latte. I mean, they look like regular sized cups to me. They don't look like a latte to me.
Ha 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 ha. Why do I want a hot chocolate now?
But you just let her in and are telling her all about it.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, think about logically, does this make any sense?
Shane Carruth, white courtesy phone. Shane Carruth, white courtesy phone.
And I love the little detail of there's a lamp up there with a plant on the table. It doesn't seem like it's necessary, but there it is.
Need some greenery in this room. My goodness, it's like
Yeah. The walls need to be painted or something.
You could film Rebel Moon in this room. I'll stop.
maybe there's a reason it's lit this way. I don't know. Maybe it's for
yeah.
the camera. Maybe it's for the camera, so the camera can take a better picture. I don't know.
Excuse me.
You mean like you just did?
Well, a little bit more. There you go.
Subtle. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Since you two have apparently decided to Shelley and Bobby your way through this,
Yeah, no, I knew exactly what you meant, Enigma.
Yeah, I just hope those cameras aren't filming what they're about to be doing.
In just a minute, it would probably be best if it was.
I wonder if she got paid extra for that.
Well, I don't know. I think she was nude before on other series too, but
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to get lucky.
Maybe. Depends on how you look at it.
or she's a plant, and she's about to Haruken him to death. Because at this point, I'm only trusting the people we know.
And I think the reaction has something to do with what they're doing.
That is my theory as well.
There's strong, high emotion in that room right now from those two having sex. And
There is a bit in the final dossier that talks about Aleister Crowley and Thelema and whatnot. It implies to me that yes, there's a tantric element here, I believe.
This is why you need.
Hope you got that on camera.
That's why you need to keep the guard at the door.
Right. Although I have a theory that
That was the guard?
no, the guard was missing on purpose.
South Dakota. I don't think I've ever been to South Dakota.
Neither have I.
I did drive cross country once, and that was a weird experience. You realize. Ooh. What's going on there? What kind of animal? What is that? That's a dog,
rat.
right? What?
I mean a chihuahua.
Oh my
Can't stand
goodness.
gift dogs like that. Give me a real dog.
Apparently, Chihuahuas always have an attitude. That's what I've heard about them.
Well, because they're so small and nervous.
Like they have to make up for the fact they're so small. I do miss the Taco Bell dog, though. I'll say that. What? Why are you bringing him up?
Lady,
Oh.
the role of Lucy Brennan has already been taken.
I know, right?
Well, now she's acting like a character out of Fargo now. Cause
And
it's
Yeah,
like-
well, South Dakota, you know?
And
Well,
how did you
geez,
not
you
know
know.
your address? Unless you literally just moved in.
It's 666 Elm Street.
There we go.
Hey, that guy,
They're the police.
Rupert, from Pelican Brief.
Okay, you're a wackadoo.
Yes, she is. Yeah, you know what's going on here.
Try the doorknob before you kick the door in.
Yeah, he did. He tried the door.
Yeah, a lot of times they don't try the doorknob. They just kick the door in.
And hello to Natalia's Out of This Wacky World. Good to see you.
Well, hello, hello.
We're watching the first episode of season 3 of Twin Peaks. Cosme link is at the top of the chat. Well, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I am giving you permission to kick down the door.
Mm.
Oh, hey.
I bet this is surprisingly accurate for South Dakota. I'm just having that impression.
Oh,
Oh, for
jeez.
crying out loud!
Okay. I'm about 5 seconds from burning the building down.
I know, right? In all honesty, though, this is the kind of crap that cops probably do deal with.
Yes.
Especially in rural communities.
It's probably the kind of stuff that public servants have to deal with. Not that I'm going to say anything about my current position.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Stories I could tell, but I'll be careful.
There's a channel that I watch does a lot of great shorts. Guy's an EMT and he does skits, stuff that he's actually seen on the job.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt.
That unit, I don't know what it is, but it's cool looking.
I don't know what that's for. Sorry, I don't like big, bulky pieces of wood now since I've been through a flood. I think I would have more austere surroundings, but just what's in this room?
Ruth Davenport. Played by Mary Stoffel, David Lynch's sister-in-law.
Ah.
But they can't smell her?
They do smell her, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem. Cops, they know when they smell that, what they're getting into.
I remember this actor. He was on Homicide: Life on the Street.
Yes, he was.
He was the documentarian. I think he had more hair back then. Of course, it looks like he shaved it off for this role anyway. But
Drugstore Cowboy, Cliffhanger.
yeah, he was in Drugstore Cowboy. You're right.
Yeah.
Although Mary Stoffel doesn't play all of Ruth Davenport. Again, I love when they do details like that. It gives you a little bit of backstory.
Yeah, that the guy never wears gloves or something. What?
Whoa.
What the fuck?
That's not natural.
Where's her body and where's the dude's head?
Exactly.
Do I want to know?
Exactly.
Some sick shit.
Yes, yes it is.
I almost ended it here, but we'll get one more scene back in Twin Peaks.
Yeah, so we can get that last image out of our heads.
Yeah.
I can almost smell it. You know, smell the air when they're going like that.
Right.
Maybe that's just me. Look at this.
Ah, Margaret Lanterman, good evening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank God, sanity. Hawk, thank
Right.
you. We always count on you.
And the way he says that, it's like goodbye.
They knew that Catherine Coulson wasn't going to be around much longer.
Wow.
Okay, organize your desktop folders. Having one in the center and one on the side, and
You would hate my desktop.
I got all mine on either side so that my center is clear. Actually, the center has a picture of, I think I have my mom there right now. Yeah. The center of my desktop has a picture of my mom.
Uh-oh. Stuart, you've been a bad boy again.
Shaggy?
Okay. Huh. I like how they make other places look different. How it's
Yep.
shot from Twin Peaks. This is not
Yep.
not Twin Peaks, so it's shot differently. It looks different. If you know what I'm saying, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah.
And he's not doing the lazy thing of it's blue here and brown there and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
You're on official business, I'm afraid.
Oh. Matthew Lillard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So they're
maybe you
going
should
to have to
can
wait.
You should maybe cancel the dinner. If something's come
Yeah.
up.
Go through the yellow pages and start looking for lawyers. You know.
Oh, the first thing I would do is call our buddy Chris and say, we need a lawyer. You know, you need to get down to, whatever police station because, Troy's been arrested or I've been arrested or whatever.
Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Andy looks old.
Yep.
They all got old. Just yeah.
Why does Andy's stomach look fake?
Maybe he's not really heavy, and they
They made
wanted
him
him to
plumper for the role, maybe.
I don't know. It doesn't look right. It looks fake.
Okay, that's it, guys.
Is that like
Pick it up
Adama's
next
son?
week.
Adama's son in the Battlestar Galactica remake when he put on the weight, and we're like, no, the face also has to match, right? It's
True,
like,
true,
yes.
true.
My timer says this thing's got like another 11 minutes.
Well,
Well,
Troy
I don't
cut
have
it
another
here.
11 minutes
Troy cut
keyed
it
up,
here.
so-
This is Troy's part one, and we're just
We're lucky we got this much, dude. After
Okay.
all we've been through tonight.
Poor deleted scenes. Deleted scenes. Feel free after the stream to watch those last remaining 11 minutes. I give you permission.
Actually, what you should probably do is go back and rewatch what we've watched, and get it without the commentary and think it through.
Yes.
Lots. There are a lot of great guest appearances. You just saw, what's his name, Matthew Lillard. You saw, what's her name, Judd.
Do we? No, actually, I'm not going to say nothing. Keep your mouth
Ashley
shut.
Judd?
Ashley Judd, yeah.
Yeah, Ashley Judd.
Yep.
And like I said, David Lynch brought his sister-in-law, Mary Stoffel, in for the head. And later on, his wife is going to be in it too. So, although she was in Inland Empire, so that shouldn't surprise anybody. But and there's probably a bunch that I've actually forgotten.
Type in the private chat who he's married to, because I tend to lose track with him.
Oh, I it doesn't even need to be in the private chat. It's not really a spoiler. Emily Stoffel.
Oh, okay. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry.
Well, you look her up and you'll remember her from Inland Empire.
Oh, okay. I didn't see Inland Empire, so I didn't. Not all.
Then you probably won't recognize her from Inland Empire.
I've not seen it either. Deleted scenes.
Inland Empire is one that I need to to see. It's not. Well, I mean, it's one of those where it's not. I don't even know if it's like available on Blu-ray or any of those. I know it's on YouTube, but it may have been pulled down because it's not like officially on YouTube. But
that's Emily Stoffel.
Okay,
that's actually from an upcoming episode. So
okay,
there you go.
Nice.
Just
Okay.
Mrs. David Lynch.
There we go.
But there you go. Yeah, because of the way it encodes, I don't know where it ends and where the next one started, but I felt it was a good stopping point because we start getting into this new mystery, and I think we got enough to digest right now.
Well, in a way, it is starting like the original show did. You have you find out where a few of the characters are. You meet some new ones, and now you have this new. We know there's a threat out there because of this thing that's in the glass box.
So I will. I don't know if this is a spoiler, since this is. I feel like it's kind of. It's something I feel that I know, but when I really am honest about it, I think it's just a theory. So that creature in the box, Judy.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna guess those two kids are dead.
Oh yeah, they're all kinds of dead. Yeah. But one of the things that I was promising to Mark Melnikoff is that who is, by the way, a practicing Buddhist. I told him that one of the things that we'll be doing is probably digging into a little bit of Buddhist lore. Which shouldn't become as too big a surprise, since we've already been talking about Cooper talks about the Dalai Lama, and we all know that David Lynch is into transcendental meditation. The black and the white lodges, but we're going to go farther into Buddhist folklore. So if you want to start doing your research and priming the pump, obviously we're going to be talking about doppelgangers, but we're also going to be talking about tulpas. And you should start thinking through what the difference is between a doppelganger and a tulpa. They are two different things.
And good night to Curtis Shelby.
Take
Got some
care.
storms rolling in, so he's going to go offline. All right. There was a question in the chat that was somewhat off topic, but at the same time, kind of not. Matthew Lillard being involved with this as well. Did you guys enjoy Five Nights at Freddy's?
Have not yet seen it.
I thought it was fine. I don't really know much about the games. I've heard that people who like the games are pretty mixed on the film. Some dig it and some don't.
Sorry, the only thing I think that Troy and I know about Five Nights at Freddy's is there's another YouTuber who did some breakdowns on it and like the Easter eggs in there and how to like actually navigate the game. Other than that, we know nothing about it.
Kind of like how we've dug into Fallout. We've been watching YouTube videos about Five Nights at Freddy's to get all the lore and stuff. It's some creepy stuff. Those kinds of games with the jump scares are not my cup of tea. I'm not going to be digging into that too much. But I will check out the movie eventually. It is on my to-watch list, for sure. Actually, same question back at you, Enigma. Did you like it? Do you recommend it? And does anybody know if, it did well enough that it might get a sequel?
I've heard there might be, but what happened was it was one of those day and date deals.
Oh,
it was in theaters and Peacock at the same time, but it did decently well in theaters. People went to theaters to see it anyway. So
you're not wrong, Enigma.
Yeah,
I got a couple days. I don't know. I might dip into the hooch on Independence Day because independence.
So Enigma's a thumbs up on 5.
Once I see the movie, I'll start going back to YouTube videos just to see how it matches up with the lore, like the details and such. Oh, and Nate says a sequel has already been announced.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It has.
I would say that it can get a sequel if the story is able to magnify what has already been established. Well, you had mentioned, and I'd heard this too, actually, that the fans of the game were a little mixed. I would suggest to them, pay attention to what fans had a problem with and try to fix it. Because if you don't have the fans, you're gonna eventually lose momentum. Just speaking as somebody who has seen his favorite franchises be bastardized over the past decade or so.
Yeah.
But that is not the case, in my opinion, with Twin Peaks.
No.
I think you were on the money when you pointed out that, or somebody did, someone in the chat. It seems weirder. It does have a different feel, but then again, Fire Walk with Me has a different feel from the series, and that's intentional. And the different feel here, I also think is absolutely intentional. It goes to some very dark places. I think you can already see that. But there is some great moments of humor in here, especially from some of the upcoming guest appearances.
We got to see Andy again.
Which was nice. Yep. Lucy. You know that they've got a 24-year-old son named Wally. We will be seeing him later.
Sounds like what you'd name a bird.
Yeah, a minor bird that gets shot. No, that's Waldo. But yeah. So I don't want to give too much else away because there's a lot of other characters that we have not, touched base on, found out where they're at and whatnot. There is a whole other generation out there. You'll find out more about that too going forward.
We've had another mysterious murder or two.
Yep.
Well, at least in this case, we saw the murder happen, right? Well, okay, two of the murders, not the other two. Yeah, there do tend to be a lot of instances of couples and twos.
Interesting.
Not sure that has any necessary meaning, but just pointing it out. Yeah, to some degree. But Mark Frost really put in the effort. He did both of the companion books. He's definitely in there, and I think a lot of times when you see like with the police procedural type things and whatnot, I think a lot of that is Frost bringing some of that to it. But I don't know if you guys knew the behind the scenes on this, but there was for a while after the announcement that the return was in the process, getting worked up. They were starting to reach out to the actors and so forth. It sounded like the deal was going to fall through. That David Lynch was butting heads with Showtime over this, and it was looking like he was going to walk away. And there was a big push, a big movement. Hashtag. I don't remember what it was, like no peaks without Lynch or something like that. And a lot of the actors that, were signed on, Sherilyn Fenn, for example. Yes, I think that might be a little bit of a spoiler, but anyone who was, seeing the behind the lead-ups to this saw her on her social media talking about, I won't do this if David Lynch isn't involved, and so on and so forth. A lot of other actors said the same, and a lot of fans were like, "There's no point. We want to know, what David Lynch's third season was going to be and what his plan was. Without him, we don't want to watch it either." So I'm figuring it must have been money related, or maybe it was, certain amount of editorial freedom or something. I don't know, but whatever it was, they must have worked it out. So there you go. All right. Next week, I will not have this problem. I will test it out in advance, and we will just get going right from the get-go. Apologies for my lack of technological prowess. They call him Agent Boomer, but
Yeah.
Hey,
And,
but I'm the one that's boomering it.
and I had
Hey,
some
I think-
computer issues as well that slowed us up. So
it's all right. We got to talk about some cool shows earlier.
we did.
And I yeah, obviously was only half listening because I was trying to get things put together. But I do definitely feel like a lot of the shows you were mentioning, I think were directly influenced by Twin Peaks. You know?
Maybe.
I really do. I really do. And just like you were talking about a couple weeks back, Boomer, there's a lot of video games that were influenced by Twin Peaks. So, well, I will try to make sure it happens less, Mr. Londell. Yeah, I am my own worst critic, no doubt. And thank you too, Enigma. But that's all I'm going to say about this installment. Like I said, I feel like there's only so much I could say without getting into future episodes and whatnot. I think you guys need to kind of let it percolate.
Percolate.
Yep.
But not with a fish in the percolator.
Preferably not. No, absolutely. That's exactly, I feel, that's what I've been telling myself too. Stardate Trivia. Don't be sorry, just don't do it again. I aim to not.
Limp
Limp Claws
happened
happened to Wolverines over 40. Looking forward to that movie, by the way. The
What?
Deadpool versus Wolverine.
They should. They don't call it Deadpool versus Wolverine, but that's what they should have called it: Deadpool versus Wolverine.
I bet there'll be a joke about
or
that.
Or Deadpool
though.
meets Wolverine. That could be another one. That remember Frankenstein? Actually, Frankenstein meets the Wolfman was a versus movie.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you, if they have anything approaching cast members coming out and singing, they need to do the Song of New Life in that Universal theme.
Dude, I have been seeing more videos about that. I'm actually getting stoked about this. Netter and I might have to drive down to friggin' Florida to check this thing out.
Oh, well, okay.
They have
cool.
a Dr. Pretorius's place where you can go and get made up as a monster. I kid you not.
Do. Yes. So
well,
I guess
I can arrange it on my work schedule.
Yeah, I just don't get paid on mine.
Hey, anytime you want to go, you tell me. I will take that time off.
I know.
There you go.
I know.
But it'll
I'm
be.
I'm the holdout.
Well, you guys will make it there one of these days, I'm sure. And
I hope so.
The Universal parks. I'll say this: I think because they're always competing with Disney, they always have to up the ante. I mean, I was watching Beverly Hills Cop 3, and I forgot that they shot a lot of the scenes in that park in that movie. And one of those was the old earthquake ride at Universal. They redid it. They stuck Cylons in it for whatever reason for the Beverly Hills Cop movie fake ride. But that was the earthquake ride from Universal Studios, and I forgot that was a technical marvel when it was out, and I'm glad it's sort of kind of preserved in that movie because I don't think they have it anymore. But
they did
remember the
something
movie Earthquake?
In Earthquake, I believe it was Earthquake. They also did this with King Kong and Jaws. They had pyrotechnics.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. When something blows up
you feel
off to your left and you feel the heat of those flames...
Yep.
Yeah, you start to question whether or not this is actually special effects and whether or not you're in some actual danger.
Exactly. And I imagine it's to sort of replicate how it is on actual film sets, right?
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was, props to Universal Studios. They got the movies. It's like you go in that park, you're in the movies, and they always had great rides.
Well, that was the tagline, right? Ride the movies.
Ride the movies, because they were competing with MGM Studios over at Disney.
Yep.
And MGM Studios was kind of a paltry park compared to what was over at Universal. Like Universal, you couldn't necessarily get done with everything in the day. MGM, you could get, if you knew what to do, you get done with that in a day very easily. So much bigger park. But
in fact, I heard that some of the in quotes immersion of what is it, Darkmoor or whatever town it is that this
Darkmoor,
is
Darkmoor.
Which sounds like a D&D setting, but
I'm assuming it's some quaint European village with the weird huts. I always thought it was funny in those Universal movies. I'm like, was this actually accurate of Europe at the time, or are they just making it up like out of a fairy tale? Like this is like this German village.
Well, I definitely felt like it should be, that kind of impressionistic, German,
very stylized,
with the canted windows and stuff like that. I think it really should be like that. But it sounds like they're going for the kind of, technical and immersive kind of environment that they have with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this is something, right? But yeah.
Not to bring that up, I doubt there's ever been any kind of a David Lynch themed ride or even Halloween maze. Does anybody know of anything? Was there ever a Twin Peaks Halloween maze somewhere that someone put together? Probably
I
not.
wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe.
I mean, a lot of people do, independent things. Look, there's more than one Twin Peaks based, what's it called, burlesque troops out there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's always pleasant.
So, yeah, there was a write up on it in Blue Rose magazine.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I imagine some of the burlesque routines were them dressed up as the waitresses at the Dive Bar.
I would not be. Yeah, absolutely, most certainly. So,
but yeah, I'm already intrigued, and I've seen this show before. But the thing is, I didn't follow it back to back, so I probably missed things because I didn't watch the original series before it came on. So I mean, I'd seen it before,
yeah,
but it had been a number of years. So hopefully, I'm going to get more out of this. We saw Dr. Jacoby carrying some shovels on deleted scenes. What do you think of that? Any thoughts?
And he is the last person I want to see in the middle of the woods with a shovel.
That's a great point. That's a great point. I hadn't thought of that angle before.
If I were making predictors based on not having seen this, what I would say, yeah, he's using those shovels to get unsuspecting people and hitting them back over his head to relive the trauma that he went through when he was hit on the back of the head.
Well, the first question you should be asking is, what does he need with all those shovels? You can only use one at a time.
That's very interesting. I'm not going to say. It's interesting. That's all I'm going to say.
I love when he takes off the glasses and he's got the two colored glasses underneath.
That's who you want treating you for going to. That's who you want to go to for therapy.
Yeah, I know.
Probably someone who's more batshit than you are.
He really is. Yeah.
Was he the only? I assumed he was the only one in town. That's why they sent Lord.
Yes, but also some ethical issues, obviously.
I mean, the thing is, I got this from Good Will Hunting. The idea is, any psychologist won't do. Sometimes you have to shop around, I would imagine, right? I mean, it's
could be.
If the therapy's not working, you're probably with the wrong therapist, right?
Well,
you need to go somewhere else.
Even the right therapist in that movie was kind of the wrong one because, he pretty much immediately breaks all protocol when he, goes for him, Yeah, we done here, Chief. Time's up,
Yeah.
All right, I think we've probably tortured this audience enough.
Yeah. And once again, chat, thank you very much. We know we started late tonight. We had technical issues beforehand. Turns out we had one during, but you all stuck with us through the entire show. So thank you all very much once again. Of course, Tim, Curtis, Connie, Severus, Stardate, Mr. Londell is here, Nate, JPRPH1 was here at one point, I know, Lady Mist, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a few of you, but thank you all for stopping by. Natasha, or Natalia, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. I know you were with us here earlier as well. So yes, thank you all once again, and I hope you enjoyed the show. And I do want to remind everyone, as Enigma said earlier, that he has a movie review on his channel for the movie Boneyard with Mel Gibson, so check that out. And if you are new to the channel and you're seeing all of us for the first time, please feel free to subscribe, not only to my channel, but of course to Troy Netter, Boomer as well, and to everyone in the chat. And make sure that you are subbed to one another because sometimes sometimes YouTube will unsubscribe you without your permission. So
Could happen.
make
Yep.
sure to check. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know a lot of you guys are like, well, I don't have any content on my channel or whatever. You know what? It's still social media. It's still a way to keep connected. So
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
yes, that's true, Nate. You are not fair weather fans. No doubt about that.
All right.
All right.
Yep.
Well, on that note, any last words before we close it out?
You gotta be really sick. Just take someone else's head and put it over another body. What's wrong with people?
Yeah, wait till you find out whose body that is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to like that, am I?
No, you're not.
Oh my goodness.
And
Oh
since
boy.
And since Thursday is the 4th of July, stay tuned for Thursday things on my channel, Netters Network, where we will be watching, what was it called, honey?
The first two, I don't know what you call it, episodes of This Is America, Charlie Brown.
Oh yeah.
So we are still doing something on the 4th of July. We won't have any guests, but we'll be showing those episodes.
Oh,
in
the
its
Peanuts
place.
gang.
Yeah.
There you go.
Does that mean that anybody that shows up is part of the Peanut Gallery?
Yes.
Indeed.
At least on Thursday, yes.
Yeah, so if you're not doing anything on the 4th of July, come on by.
Oh yeah, and then Friday, last call. We're going to let Boomer finish his slideshow about urban legends.
Okay. Yes.
And we will have a special subject matter expert,
There we
Nick
go.
from Beyond the Hub podcast.
Sounds good. We got some good ones, so we're gonna
Yeah.
get into it. Yeah.
Yep.
I got my books back out from the library too, so I can reference those as well. So yeah.
What is the movie Friday beforehand? It's Dragon
Dragonheart.
Dragon Heart, right?
Sean Connery.
with Sean Connery and Dennis Quaid
Mhm.
and Dina Meyer. So that's over on
That'd be on
Big
Big
Al
Al's channel.
Presents.
Mhm.
So that's
Friday night at 8 p.m.
Thank you. I always get lost in the time zones. And then the reason he's going with that one is because Netter on Saturday will be doing Dragon Slayer
Dragons.
at 9 Central, 10 Eastern over on Netter's Network. So there you go. So that's what we got going on this week.
Yep.
So, okay, Geeky Geezers on Sunday, Friday Night Last Call on Friday, and of course, Netter's Retro Cinema, Big Al Presents with Films with Friends Friday night, and I, of course, will be seeing you on the 4th, right after Thursday Things. For the weekend update, where I'll let everybody know what I will be doing for next week. And of course, join us here. Same bat time, same bat channel for the rest of part 1 and part 2 of Twin Peaks: The Return. Netter, would you like to close this out with your
Actually, wait,
usual
real
closer?
quick before we go,
sorry?
let's
Yeah,
acknowledge
yes.
someone new in the chat.
Mhm.
I'm gonna butcher this, so please forgive me. Vukmir, I invite you to my channel. New Twin Peaks movie 2024. Greetings from Poland.
Hmm.
Well, welcome, Vukmir. Yes, I absolutely will. Like you said, with the following you and the you on your channel.
All right.
Well, they're definitely new to my channel
And,
because that's where they're saying hello from. So yeah, so
Hello.
welcome. In fact, I'm gonna check out your channel, and if you return here next week, you'll get to see part 2. So that will be
Aw,
fun.
dude, yeah, you got some great Twin Peaks content here. Definitely going to be checking out your channel here.
Yeah, it's like, and I have a stream on Thursday called Thursday Things. I'm looking for guests, so if you're interested, just let me know. I'm on Twitter, Netters Network, no apostrophe, no space between Netters and Network. And just drop me a DM, and I'll book you for an upcoming stream.
And welcome Alejandro Castillo.
Yeah, we got some new people coming in here at the end. Right on.
Good, good.
And Vukmir, I just subbed to you. I appreciate a sub back.
Awesome, awesome.
Oh,
There we go.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So, with all that said,
Yep.
we can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well good and fun. But it's so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat, and you're dropping your comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all, excuse me, it feels like we're all hanging out in the same room, enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And you guys, you know you're not just our friends. You are our family. We love you guys, and we appreciate you so very much. I love seeing you guys in our streams pretty much every day of the week. You know, just, you're not just encouraging us on the panel, you're encouraging one another, and that's really wonderful to see. It's like a big group hug, you know? So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of our family. Thank you for encouraging all of us. And until next time, which will be Thursday over on Netters Network, good night and God bless.
Yep.
Boomer, any last words?
No, I already said weird
Oh, you
killings.
Okay, fair enough. And as I always say, thank you all once again for watching. Thank you to everyone who was following along with us on the live chat on Twitter and on Rumble. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please hit the like, share out the stream, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. From the corner of Sparkwood and 21, and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night, take care, stay strong, because this is how we win.
Is it future or is it past?
Hallo, hier ist Klurfeld.
Ha 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 ha!